Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Something Different. This is Juan. In today's video, we're gonna be doing the clutch, flywheel. We're gonna do a whole bunch of stuff to this car. And then it's a 2013 BRZ. Here's my boy Gavin. I already put in that work in. And then I'll keep you guys updated on how the process is gonna go down. Right now, he's mainly taking all the parts off that he needs to take in the top. And then I'm gonna go down there and start taking the skid plate off, the exhaust, and then drive shaft. Which is the main things that you have to take off to be able to drop the transmission. All right, guys, so as you guys can tell, we already got the car up in the jack stands. So like I already told you guys, we're gonna take the exhaust off from here. It goes over there. Next thing you're gonna take off is the drive shaft that's from down there, right there. You wanna make sure your car is in neutral. And then you're gonna go ahead and remove these two bolts just because I wanna take them off as a whole. And then you should be able to snap it up from there. All right, guys, so a little quick update. We already want to go ahead and take the drive shaft out. As you guys can tell, 4 bolts, 14mm bolts. Right here, you pretty much want to do it with 2 wrenches because that's what it gives you enough room for. Right over here, there's going to be also bolts. They're 14s as well that hold the drive shaft. And then once you drop this and that right there, you should be able to just pull it out from this right here, which is where it goes on the housing on the transmission for this drive shaft. And then right now my boy Gavin is up there removing the shifter. There you go. So as you guys could tell, we already removed the shifter. Right now what we're gonna go ahead and do is that since we already removed the shifter, drive shaft, and the exhaust, we should be ready to go to start unbolting the transmission. So first you want to go ahead and start with these bolts on the bottom and then move your way up to this ones. And then same on this side, so it should be 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and then 2 on the top. Make sure to disconnect the battery before you touch the starter. Once you disconnect the battery, you can go ahead and remove the starter. And then after that, since we don't have transmission jack and then we're not on the lift, we're gonna be using a car jack to drop the transmission. And then, but I'll show you guys when we get to that, because you're also gonna have to remove this brace right here, which is gonna be the last step before you drop. All right, so as you guys can tell, we already took the 3 bolts up in the top, on the side, and then, so it should be a total of 7 bolts that you have to remove. Once you remove those 7 bolts, you wanna go ahead and place it right over there where it's the flat part. And then after you do that, you wanna go ahead and remove those 4 bolts that are holding it. So this one right here, this one right here, this one, and this one. And once you go ahead and remove that, then the transmission should be able to drop. All right, as you guys can tell, we had a little bit of mess here when we were dropping it, just because we didn't have the bit to take the drain plug out, but we'll go ahead and drain it up for the next time. As you guys can tell, that's out, the transmission's out, the shifter's out, everything's out. So right now what we're gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna go ahead and remove this flywheel. I mean, this is the pressure plate, my fault. So it's gonna be this screws right here. Once we remove that, the clutch should be out, and then we should be able to remove the flywheel once that's out as well. And I'll show you guys the process of that. All right, guys, so as you guys can tell, we already dropped the transmission. Well, the sun won't let me show you guys, but we already got the transmission out. We're gonna go ahead and change this right here. And then the slave cylinder should just come right out. It just pops out right here. And then
I'll get more glue.
You wanna go ahead and remove this plug, this right here. Remove this right here. So just like that, this already came out. Let's go ahead and put the new one back on. All right, Gavin, so what are we replacing, bro?
This pivot ball and the clutch fork and the throwout bearing.
All right, so that fork goes right over here. It's gonna be a 19mm. You're just gonna go ahead and screw it. If you have a deep 19 socket, you could go ahead and use it to replace it, or you could get it from up here as well. We want to go ahead and use the 19, so you want to go ahead and get that hand tight first, then snug it up a little bit. You already put this on. We're gonna go ahead and then install the new fork. As you guys can tell, you could definitely tell the difference from both of them. I mean, this one already came off, but I mean, look at that. And then look at the brand new one. So it's gonna be so much better, and it's not gonna make noise. So we already took the pressure plate in the clutch. I'm sorry I didn't record, but it's gonna be a 12mm bolts that go all around the flywheel. It should be 2, 4, 6 bolts that you have to take with 12mm, and then we're also gonna replace the flywheel. Therefore, we're gonna take these 6 bolts. That should be a 14mm, and then the flywheel should come out. So right now we're gonna go ahead and remove this 14mm 6 bolts that are holding the flywheel. As you can tell, my boy Gavin is holding it with the flathead right here so it doesn't spin when I take it off. And then I already have my 14 with the half-inch extension so we don't hit the sway bar. So as you guys can tell, this is gonna be the old flywheel that we had in there. It's gonna be 6 14mm when you take them off. This is gonna be the new flywheel. It's a ACT flywheel. This is a lightweight flywheel. As you guys can tell, we're gonna be going with the ACT clutch and then pressure plate. He's not sure what stage is this. I think it's a stage 2 ACT, if I'm not mistaken. And then this is the old clutch and the old pressure plate. So that's what we're gonna be going with. What you think?
It's gonna be good.
Hell yeah. So on this ACT flywheel that we're using, you're gonna be using an 8mm Allen. And then, so first what you want to do is that you're going to go ahead and put the flywheel on. Make sure to put thread lock on this, and you're going to go in the start pattern. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you want to first torque it at 35 foot-pounds of torque. And then you're going to go around one more time and then do it at 70. And once you do that, you should be good to start putting your clutch and your pressure wheel back on. I'll show you guys how to do it. And make sure to clean the flywheel with some brake cleaner so you don't have no hot spots on the clutch or anything like that. So yeah. Alright guys, so as you guys can tell, we already got the clutch in there. With the clutch still to align the clutch and the pressure plate, we already got everything in there. So now that we have everything in there, we're gonna go ahead and tighten these bolts up to 12 foot-pounds of torque. So now that we have those tightened up, should be able to throw the transmission back in here. I mean, everything looks aligned in there. As you guys can tell, this is where the tool goes. Everything looks good. So here's your flywheel back there. Here's your clutch. And here's your pressure plate. Once it's done, everything should be good. All right, guys. So as you guys can tell, the transmission is already back in the car with the new ACT flywheel, clutch, and pressure plate. But now that we're going to put it back, we have the bracket to go back on, which is this one right here. Like I said, it's 14mm. This goes like this, like that. And then right here is the starter that we're gonna be putting on. That goes right on here. So here's the plugs and everything. You have to make sure you plug it back in and then put the power to where it's supposed to be at. And then here's the nut and the washer that goes in between. And right after we do that, we're gonna be throwing the drive shaft back on. Remember, you wanna go ahead and do it from here first, then put these bolts back on there, and then lastly put it and tighten it over there on the differential. After you do that, you want to go ahead and make sure everything's tight, then do the exhaust, and you should be ready to go. If you drain the transmission, make sure to drain it back on. So yeah. All right guys, so as you guys can tell, here's gonna be your slave cylinder. You're gonna be with 2 14s on each side. You want to go ahead and press it in, put the 2 14s on. Here's where your starter goes, right over there. Right here is where you put the plug in, everything goes back in. Here's the 14 as well that holds the starter. Once you put that, you want to go ahead and connect everything back to the transmission. This wire harness, here's for the battery, here's for this wire harness that goes in here, so everything goes back in there. Once that's done, you want to go inside here and put back the shift knob and the shifter. It goes with the little pin, so make sure you guys put that back how it's supposed to go back. And yeah. All right guys, so pretty much we already put the battery back on, we already grounded, we already put the plugs back on, the slave cylinder, all the wire harness that was supposed to be in there. We already threw the drive shaft back on. You literally put it on the same way you took it out. Right now, he's gonna turn it on. The only thing is that it's gonna be, like, it doesn't have an exhaust right now. It's right out of the downpipes. So let's see what it sounds like. You could even hear me. It is stupid loud, but let's go ahead and throw the exhaust on so it sounds better. All right guys, so that's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe. Comment down below what you guys thought of the video. What do you guys want to see next? You want to see more transmission work, engine work, performance, like anything, just let me know down below what you guys want to see more of. So next week we're also gonna be coming out with a pretty interesting video on Acura, so make sure to stay tuned for that. So in order for you not to miss it, go down there, hit the like button, subscribe, turn the bell notification on so you get the next notification of when the next video comes. Going back to this video, so what we end up doing is that we put everything back together. We lowered the car. Once we lowered it, we went for a test drive. You want to go ahead and drive the car for at least 500 miles before you start pushing it, just because that's how you break in the clutch. Just like, you know, there is a braking procedure for like everything that you do, like brakes, just anything that you do in the cars. But so that's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe once again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.